from America's heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa.
And hello everyone, hello everywhere, good evening, I should say. Good evening everyone across America and around the world listening on GJRB Online, on Spreaker, on the internet, from just high atop, just above the Lion Shopping District in Clinton, Iowa. The Gary Russen Program Evening Edition begins right now. Hello, and hope you'll stay with me through the evening. And rarely, we're never on a Wednesday night. Basically, originally in the schedule, we've always been on certain nights of the week sometimes, but we haven't been on Wednesday night in a long time. Basically because there's been Bible studies on Wednesday night, and we went to that. And basically just didn't do any radio at all on Wednesdays. But being the Bible study has ended about 2 months ago, I decided to bring back the show on Wednesday, the midweek edition. Now, I did that last Wednesday. But to this week, I thought, well, I'm going to try the evening edition and see what happens as far as getting listeners is concerned. Yeah, because we've been kind of dropping in the listenership of this station for quite some time, for one reason or another. Just sometimes we just don't get the audience that I usually get in a nighttime show. Our regular daily show, which is 3 to 6 p.m. Central Time, I get some listeners, and we had a couple of them on our afternoon program. The last drop-in was our Gary J in the morning. I believe it was the tail end of that, and that was Mike Myers and the Radio Hope Network. He was there, Mike Myers was, and of course Ed Delgado, the Caramel Conservative, who had an absolutely fabulous show last night, and we'll talk a lot about some of the things that he talked about tonight on this program. And some of the real interesting stories that were come up. What do you think of all this stuff going on? Especially that young lady. See, that name just kind of has escaped me again. But she is the one who went in front of the United Nations stating that we're to blame for their future being destroyed by the fact that global warming is destroying their future. And we were talking about that yesterday. What do you think of that whole issue? I mean, I think that she is kind of... I really think that... And I posted this yesterday during the Ed Delgado show last night, the Caramel Conservative. I posted a couple of things on the my Facebook page that contributed to that story. One of them was a picture of some kids sitting. One, I think, was a little kid sitting on the lap of a Nazi and speaking what looks like they were speaking. And then another one sitting in front of a swastika flag, a Nazi flag. And I posted that on Facebook yesterday. And a couple of other postings, which I will be putting up a little later on. And let's see what we can get here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. I've already put up my Facebook page. I got that up. And I'm going to now share on the Facebook that we're on the air with the Gary Russen Program Evening Edition. Hope you'll stay with me throughout the evening. We're going to be doing, of course, we always do news throughout the show because it is, after all, GJRB's original news talk program. And that is the Gary Russen Program, the mini franchise of our show. This is one of them, the evening edition. I have the Saturday Extra, the evening edition, what's the other program? Of course, yes, the Friday show, which we're going to do this week. So we'll be back on the air again on Friday with the Gary Russen program, Freestyle Friday edition. And it's also a freeform show. So we're just going to kind of leave it wide open for you in the evening here. As you all know, I'm going to be working my way towards the the Spreaker Premium, giving me the 3 hours total. But for right now, I am going to be doing long breaks at the half hour. That's my hard breaks. We're going to keep doing those hard breaks at the bottom of the hour. And that is so that I can expand my hour, my 45 minutes to a full hour, and I can separate the hours in parts into hours. Part 1, which is now, and then part 2 is hour 2, and then the final part is hour 3. So that it's better separates our time. It's it's kind of like the old days when I first started this. Like I said, back those days, you had a free 30 minutes each, and I used that to my advantage. And I pretty much used to put a pretty good show on when I had those half-hour intervals, because I still did my hard break anyway. Well, when I go to the 3-hour plan, then I'm going to shorten my hard breaks down to about 2 minutes each. So I've been listening to other podcasters, specifically the ones like, and I've been learning from them. One of them is Fade to Black, which is Jimmy Church. His program, his hard breaks are only like maybe 2 minutes at the bottom of the hour, and he comes right back. And he doesn't really spend that much time on his hard breaks on his program, which I think is kind of nice because, I can put more into that. So when I go to the 3-hour plan, I'll cut my hard breaks way down to about 2 minutes, probably on all shows. The music shows, short breaks, more music, and it's going to happen soon. It's just a matter of time. I'm watching for a special on my 3-hour plan, and I don't know when that's going to come up again. I'm hoping soon we'll see that. I haven't seen it lately. It is the 25th, and usually it's up by the end of the month, so I guess they're not having one this month. Usually I would see the 30% discount, but I have not seen it yet. So I'm waiting on that, hoping maybe perhaps that will come up here real soon. And I'll keep an eye on that for you. So we'll be doing that. Meanwhile, I'm going to be taking a look at some news to get things started here on our show on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Thanks a lot for tuning in this evening, and I hope you'll stay with me live as we begin the Gary Russen program evening edition. I hope this is a good show. I hope you all like it. Hope that maybe you will, please like it. Hit that like button, because then I'll know that, there's someone out there listening to the evening show. So far I've been hearing a lot of likes. I've been seeing a lot of likes coming from my Saturday Extra, which kind of makes me happy knowing that they're out there. Saturday Extra isn't always on because I do the football game stuff, but I'll probably be back on that. But meanwhile, why don't we get started with the show with some news here on the Gary Russen program evening edition here on Spreaker across America. Open up our show with Trump. He's calling for transcripts after Pelosi announced the impeachment inquiry. According to that, President Trump And I'm going to make sure that this doesn't play the audio or the
Pennsylvania Congressman and
Senator. I'm going to put that on hold, and so that it doesn't play while I'm talking. President Trump repeatedly prodded Ukraine's new leader to work with Rudy Giuliani and U.S. Attorney General to investigate Democratic political rival Joe Biden. The White House released a memo today. Trump told the Ukrainian president, quote, "If you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me." Trump was talking about the unsubstantiated allegations that Biden sought to interfere with the Ukrainian prosecutor's investigation of his son, Hunter. The president said he did not. The president says he did nothing wrong. So that's pretty much what it is. Again, more of these allegations pop up. It's just amazing how just this stuff just continues to amaze me. How they just continue to pull up all these allegations on them. It's just amazing. Really is. And another piece of news. Let's take a look at this story. This is talking about Bill Gates funding. Bill Gates funding the MIT is developing a microparticle implant that would automatically administer vaccines over time in babies. Yeah, they're going to do this. The novel, let's see, why does it always jump down when I'm trying to read something? I hate when that happens. And this comes out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. The discovery would revolutionize the way childhood vaccines are administered, as engineers at MIT have invented a way for multiple doses of a vaccine or drug to be given over an extended period of time with only one injection. The process involves an invention of a new 3D fabrication method that could generate a novel type of drug-carrying particle that could allow multiple doses of a drug or a vaccine to be delivered over an extended period of time. So, that's interesting, isn't it? The novel fabrication called SEAL, S-E-A-L, stamped assembly polymer layers, creates a three-dimensional microparticles that resemble tiny coffee cups that can be filled with vaccine or drugs, which are then sealed with a lid. These cups are made by the FDA and approved biocompatible polymer, which can be designed to degrade at specific times and spilling out the contents. So it's gonna do that. It's gonna spill out. So these kids will get a vaccine. Robert Langer, who's a noted chemic and biological at the David H. Koch Institute at MIT, stated that we are very excited about this work because for the first time we can create a library of tiny encased vaccine particles, each programmed to release at a precise, predictable time, so that people could potentially receive single injections that in effect would have multiple boosters already built into it. This could have significant impact on patients everywhere, especially in developing worlds where patients' compliance is particularly poor. The SEAL technique could provide new platforms that can create nearly any tiny fillable object with nearly any material, which could provide unprecedented opportunities in manufacturing, in medicine, in other areas, according to Langer. So they're going to do this so I guess babies can automatically get vaccinated. Interesting. Hey, we want to invite Ed Delgado, the Caramel Conservative, back on. How you doing, Ed? How's it going this evening, man? Yeah, we got some evening action here. That's right. We're gonna see how this all works and try to get this as a regular program, kind of alternating weeks with my other shows. So maybe we can have an evening edition, the Gary Russen program evening edition here on GJRB Online. And he's saying Trump, interesting. Trump released a transcript of a call today, and there is nothing there. The left is imploding. They are trying to hold him criminally liable for what Joe Biden has done. Yeah, it's amazing how that is, isn't it? This politics kills me. It really is. It's a knockdown, drag-out fight, and this knockdown, drag-out fight is hysterical because it's just what it is. It's that battle, and they're just going to keep on doing this stuff. It's incredible. It just makes me laugh. It really does. The whole thing, and like this leftist movement is just. And then, what was the name of that little girl? I keep forgetting the name. But anyway, I was talking about that. Did you see that posting I put on Facebook yesterday during your show? Showing a picture of how these little kids are right next to the Nazi agents, or Nazi guys in Nazi uniforms, making their little speech, proving a point that the Nazis used to recruit kids to broadcast their little propaganda. Again, not letting kids be kids. And it's just amazing that this little girl, it's sad, it really is. And you say, yeah, the biggest thing I hate about the politics is that it's draining emotionally and physically. We are constantly fighting because they never give up their assault. Oh, it's Greta Thunberg. Yeah. And did you see that picture I posted? And doesn't that girl in that Nazi picture look like her? Pretty darn close. I mean, there's a little resemblance there, like maybe perhaps like an ancestor or something. Pretty spooky. I mean, what's this the start of? You have to wonder. And I believe that it was all paid off. I said it. It was all paid off by the lovely George Soros. I believe that he had his hand in this. I believe that he had it all. He had this little girl all paid off and travel. I mean, he probably paid her travel expenses to get over here to New York City, to the UN. I'm sure that was all paid off. No doubt. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. It had to have been. And, yes, and the Nazis got many of their tactics from the Democrats here in America. And, no doubt, Soros was behind it. Yep. Wouldn't surprise me in the least, because this guy's always... And the thing about it is, and I know a lot... I mean, I knew this a long time ago, okay? Because I got my lesson from the talk show host that we all know and love, whether you like him or not, and that was not... I can't remember. Now, see, I always... Never can remember his name. I always listen to him, but I can't remember his name. Not Rush Limbaugh. There's the other guy. He used to be on Fox. Now he has his own channel, The Blaze. But anyway, I remember him being on Fox, talking about George Soros, talking about the plan to brainwash kids, to brainwash America. in infiltrating the media. I mean, I saw this a long time ago. I remember him doing the whole chart. Glenn Beck, thank you. Yeah, I remember him doing the whole chart, the whole bit. And it doesn't surprise me in the least that that's what's going on right now. And this is why I know. Lori and I were talking about this the other day at the breakfast table, and that maybe I don't get listeners because I get a little too serious. Oh yeah, Agenda 21. I don't know, and if you were listening to my Way Out There show, I've been running a series called Technocracy Rising. This guy who wrote this book, I believe his name is Robert Wood. Anyway, Patrick Wood wrote a book called Technocracy Rising. And this technocracy goes way, way back to the 1930s. Tells the whole story about how technology was going to be used against people. I will have to send you some of the podcasts of those programs, or I will send you the audio clip. I actually talked to Patrick Wood myself. I was trying to get him to be a guest on my show, but he couldn't. But he gave me the permission to play the YouTube videos. So I have a way of converting videos on YouTube over to audio. I have a internet site that I do that. I can convert YouTube videos into audio, and I have the audio of that. But I can. It's also, if you go into my YouTube channel, it should be there. I have it on the list of some of the videos I've been playing, and it should be there in the series. Or just type in YouTube, just type in Patrick Wood in the search engine. It should come up with a whole bunch of, I think, of interviews about technocracy. He wrote this book called Technocracy Rising, which I thought about getting because it's a real, I guess it's an very interesting book. He's been on Coast to Coast, I think, with George Norrie once, a number of months ago, and I thought I wanted to get into that topic because it's fascinating. Coming up in just a little bit here on GJRB Online, I'm gonna do weather on the 5s, and then we're gonna. I hate to do this to you, but I do this so that I can do a full hour on one program without stopping every 45 minutes. What I do, Ed, is I disconnect from the internet for 7 minutes, run my local spots on my 9-foot closed circuit signal, and then come back. And it gives me 45 minutes back. Then I'll flip over and at the top of the hour, and then part 2 becomes hour 2, and then the final part is hour 3. So that's how I break it up. And so if I go offline, I'm taking a program break, and I'll be right back within about 7 minutes. And that's so that I could do that. But got some interesting stories coming up, including Montana, which is under a winter storm watch. I think there's a winter storm warning. I think something like that. I read somewhere where Montana is now is under a winter storm watch. They're going to get I think a foot of snow, if I'm not mistaken, foot or 3 feet. I don't remember exactly. I have to look on my thing, but it's like, wow, already. And we'll talk about that coming up. I'm going to be doing weather on the 5s, and I'm going to bring that down so that doesn't scream in your ear, because I know I've maybe had it too loud a couple of times. Don't want to grow deaf by my weather signal. Anyway, so we'll do that right now. Let's do weather on the 5s and take a look at our national weather here on the Gary Russen program, Evening Edition. Strong to severe thunderstorms and damaging winds. Large hail and a few tornadoes are likely tonight over portions of the plains in the Midwest. There's some heavy rainfall It's going to lead to some flash flooding and local flooding, significantly in Kansas and Missouri and across the eastern United States, and above normal temperatures expected as well. There's going to be here in Clinton, although I thought they were going to have some storms last night, nothing happened. But send me the links because I need to update my friends of the show page. Okay, I'll send you some links on that. And there's another one down here. Let me see. There's another message down here. Further on down. Winter is coming. Yeah. Good laugh out loud. Yeah. So you want me to send you links? I need to update my friends of my show page or my show page. I really like that. I by the way, I downloaded that picture of that first microphone picture you sent me. So I was wondering if I could just go ahead and just start using that. Because I did like that. That was cool. I absolutely thought that was awesome. And I thought I'd like to use that just to start. But if you got other things coming, I'm looking forward to that. Because that's a really neat graphic. I really would like to know how you do that. I mean, I would love to be able to do that. Is it a program or something that creates that graphic? Because I was kind of wondering about that. I was kind of curious. Please do. I'm going to be working on more. Okay, good. I mean, I've been kind of wondering, just curious, is that a graphic program that you're using or what? Canva. Okay. Canva. Now, is that a program that I could use? Is it something I could look for or something I can check out? Because I wouldn't mind trying that. That is neat. I like that. And like I said, that microphone looks like the one I use over in and I'll take a picture of that studio for you, the one we have at the church. It's pretty cool. It's a music room. My friend Brian, who is in our church, he is the worship leader at our church, and he plays guitar, and we have a pretty good worship group there, and I'm trying to get them to. We did this once, and I kind of liked it. I'm going to try to get them. We're going to do a show where they're going to play guitar and sing live, just worship songs and old gospel songs, stuff like that. So there might be a program coming up on here with that. Just live guitar playing. There's a free portion and a paid one. I'm doing a trial version right now, but there's so much you can do once you have more learning curve. Oh yeah, I could agree with that one. So yeah, that's cool. I like that. That is awesome. And yeah, I do. I like that. That's absolutely awesome. And music. That's just a lead into my break. I get that set up so it's exactly timed out. I got this thing timed out to it. It's pretty awesome. I can get it to a point where I can get a song to end right at the end of this segment by making sure that the song starts at the last few minutes of the countdown. The countdown has to be the same length as the song, and I can get that to go out right in time. So I do that once in a while too. I kind of make it so it's continuous. Anyway, without all this psychobabble, you're listening to the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online. And thank you for tuning in. We got some more show, so don't go away. I've got some more interesting stuff going on. I have a lot of interesting things that you want to check out. I'm going to talk more about what's going on in the news, and I got some more interesting stories. So stay with me. The Gary Russen program Saturday Extra continues on the GJRB Online Network after this short break on the GJRB Online Network. I already said that already. After station ID. So we'll be right back.